Hello, I am live on YouTube for the first time ever. I am Penny Douglas. I am changed by love, and I wanted to come on here tonight and talk about the most important thing, the best thing you can do for your family and for your homeschool. And that best thing, most important thing you can do is to pray for your family and your homeschool, everything in life. But in particular, I wanted to talk about how important it is for us as the mothers and to pray for our families and, to get really specific and pray for our homeschool. I have been homeschooling for 23 years, you could say. My oldest just turned 28. And I was teaching him, as we all do, from the time he was born, and all the way through homeschool. I homeschooled him all the way through high school, and he's 28 now, and he is a very self-motivated learner and loves to learn. He loves to read. He loves to discuss and philosophize. And I believe that the freedom I gave him to read, to talk about, to think out loud, to process and reflect out loud. A lot of times he learns a lot from speaking and saying what he's thinking about. And then I have 9 other kids besides my oldest, and I give them a lot of freedom too, to experiment, to explore, to adventure, to discover, to discuss. They discuss among themselves. They can talk to me anytime. I am here, available to talk to them about anything that they're interested in, anything they have questions about. So anyway, that's how I have homeschooled my kids. And my youngest is 10 now. So I have a 10-year-old, a just turned 12-year-old. I have 4 kids whose birthdays are in January. They all just turned the next age. 5 of my kids just turned the next age, because not only do I have the 4 in January, but my one son was born on New Year's Eve, December 31st. And he just turned 18, and my oldest just turned 28. So they are almost exactly 10 years apart. And then I have twins who just turned 15 3 days ago. And my 12-year-old daughter just turned 12 on the 8th of January, and my oldest turned 28 on the 5th. So that is the lineup, and I've homeschooled all of them. 5 of them have graduated from homeschool, and most of them have jobs and are doing well and are moving into the next chapter of their lives, but still living at home, except for one. He's out in an apartment on his own. But everyone else is still here all together. This is the sending base for the ones who have jobs. They aren't home very much. They're at their jobs and with their significant others most of the time, but they sleep here. So that is the story in a nutshell of our homeschooling. Has been done with a lot of books. I have read lots and lots of books, and I try to put God first in all that we do, and in all of our learning. Character is really important, and doing what God wants us to do with our lives, what He's called us to do and gifted us and made us interested in, loving, enjoying, gifted, talented, all those things. I try to make sure that I encourage and inspire and provide resources. I see myself as a facilitator of education, and I try to gather resources that they want and need. I go to the library often. I get the science kits if I have one who really likes science. My 12-year-old just got a lava lamp for her birthday. She wanted that really badly. She wanted a science that helped you figure out how to make lava lamps, but we had all kinds of other experiments come in the kits, but never that one. So we kind of got disillusioned with that and canceled that order, that standing order that we had for getting a science kit every month. But she enjoyed her science experiments, and she got a lava lamp for her birthday. So she just got that yesterday. We just had our big birthday party yesterday. So anyway, that is how we have conducted our homeschool. Is mostly I read aloud to them really good books that I think are important for them to know the information and have the experience of the story. Children learn best through story, and I have tried to make sure I've had the best of the best that I can read to them, or that I hand the book to them and ask them to read. A lot of classics, a lot of books from the Sunlight list. If you know of the Sunlight curriculum, SONLIGHT, that kind of sunlight, they have a really great curriculum that consists of read alouds and books that they can read to themselves that are on their reading level, that go with a particular historical era. And that is how that curriculum is set up. And there goes Anna. And they have a catalog that has all of these wonderful books listed, and I often take the catalog with me to the library. I've studied the catalog so much, I recognize a lot of the titles, or I already have in my mind titles that I want to take with me, or that I want to check out, that go with a certain historical period. So that's a good resource to use for finding books. Sarah Clarkson has written, she's written Book Girl, which I don't have yet, but I want to get. I don't think that's so much a book list as Read for the Heart. She has also written, Sarah Clarkson wrote Read for the Heart. That is good. Honey for the Heart. I should have written these down. There are several books that have good book lists for you to read. Find good books to read to your kids that go with a certain topic, whatever the the character trait is that you're looking for, or the historical time period that you're looking for, or the country, the geographical region, the war, or the Depression era, or whoa, I just saw something go by the window. Those kinds of things. Oh, it looks like somebody's on. Hello. So that is how I have homeschooled. I have grown into that. I wasn't doing that at the beginning. I did it in more of a school type way when I first started out with Sean, when he was a little guy, because I didn't know any different. But then I read about Charlotte Mason, and actually I was educated in my college classes to do more of a whole language approach. There goes an RC car behind me. That was another one of Emma's birthday presents, besides the lava lamp. Remote control car. Okay, I'm doing a YouTube live right now for the first time ever. So I had a little guest here. So I got distracted. I don't remember what I was talking about. I've done a lot of reading aloud. Oh, I found out about Charlotte Mason, and I saw that, a lot of things I saw about homeschooling, I realized I could do a lot of what I learned in my college classes for whole language, as far as immersing my children in words around them in the environment, like writing the word wall on an index card and taping it to the wall so that they could see that those letters actually spell out a word that is a thing and is the name of a thing. Or you could write chair and put it on your chair. You can put lamp, label things in the environment, door, window, all those things, so that they associate those letters with real words. And how are you doing that without seeing where the car is, Emma? So I saw the immersion that was I could do now in the home. I couldn't do it in the classroom because everything was so structured and set up and prearranged in the classroom. I had to use the books that they had already settled on, that the school board voted for, and they'd already bought, and they had the school fees, so that they bought certain books for everything. And it was just, I didn't have much control of what happened in the classroom when I was teaching in public school. I taught first grade. So I realized at home, in homeschooling, I could do things however I wanted to do them. And so I did a lot of the things I was taught in my college classes. I had my kids make lists of words that had common spelling patterns in them. I had them a lot of whole language techniques. I immersed them in stories. I read lots of stories to them, lots of picture books, took them to the library, got lots of books and read them and let them read them. I gave them good, easy access to the books and to art materials and just little things, construction paper, all kinds of paper, all kinds of writing instruments, even markers, which they made a mess with, especially when they were really young, crayons, chalk, everything. And they did very well with all of that. They were able to experiment. They were able to try new things. They were able to be creative and use their imaginations. And so all of that to say, those things are really important to me. I love teaching. I love helping children learn. I love seeing my kids learn. I love seeing kids learn. I teach other kids too. I've tutored a lot of kids through the years. Even after I left the classroom, I tutored a lot of other kids and homeschooled other people's kids even. So I love to see kids learn, and it's very important to me. But to me, the most important thing I can do in my homeschooling with my children, in my family, is to pray for them. I pray with them also, but I pray for them. I pray for their learning endeavors. I pray for their ability to learn. I pray for their health and wellness. I pray for everything. I pray for their relationships with each other. I pray for their understanding. I pray that learning comes easy to them. I pray that they know their direction, that they know their calling, they know who God made them to be, who they are to God, how precious they are to Him, their identity. I pray for everything. And I think that's the most important thing. And I teach them to pray. I model prayer for them. They see me praying. They hear me praying. They know that I pray all the time. They know how important it is to me. They know the power of prayer, and they have seen how prayer works. We have depended on prayer many times. We have depended on God for our daily bread many times in our lives, and He has provided. They have seen God do miracles for our family. So they know that prayer really works, and that when we pray, we're not just talking to ourselves or to the ceiling or or just saying a bunch of words that don't have any effect. They know that God hears our prayers and he answers them. And that's the most important thing that I want to get across to my kids. And I want to impress upon them the importance of prayer and a relationship with God, an intimate relationship with God where they really know him and love him and know how much he loves them. So that is the primary thing. That is the most important thing to me about homeschooling, and that's the most important aspect that I always want to make sure I cover. If all the subjects, of all the topics, of all the important things I want my kids to know, the importance of prayer and having their own relationship, their own personal relationship, intimacy with God themselves, for them to know that and to know how to get there, how to attain that, how to put that in practice in their own lives. That's the most important thing to me. So if anyone comes on, I guess I'll have a replay. And if I do have a replay and anyone comes on, thank you for coming on. And I will talk to you next time.